The incense trade route represents one of the most remarkable achievements of ancient civilizations in Arabia. For centuries, this intricate network of land and sea pathways connected the lush regions of southern Arabia, known for their production of frankincense and myrrh, to the far-reaching markets of Egypt, Mesopotamia, Greece, Rome, and beyond. This story is not merely about goods but about cultural exchange, economic prowess, and human ingenuity that transformed the Arabian Peninsula into a global crossroads of trade and tradition. The origins of the incense trade. The roots of the incense trade can be traced back to the 3rd millennium before the Common Era, when the aromatic resins of frankincense and myrrh were first harvested in the verdant regions of modern-day Oman, Yemen, and southern Saudi Arabia. These resins, derived from the boswellia and commiphora trees, were prized for their unique properties. They were used in religious ceremonies, embalming processes, and as medicinal remedies. Ancient records, including Sumerian texts and Egyptian hieroglyphs, attest to the early importance of these commodities. The land of Punt, referenced in ancient Egyptian inscriptions, is often associated with the source of these exotic goods. Pharaoh Hatshepsut's 15th century before the Common Era expedition to Punt, depicted on the walls of her temple at Deir el-Bahari, highlights the significance of incense in Egypt's religious and royal rituals. The exchange of goods such as gold, ivory, and exotic animals further emphasized the thriving trade relationships fostered by the incense routes. As demand grew, the knowledge of cultivating and harvesting these resins became more specialized. Harvesters developed sophisticated techniques to extract the highest quality resin without damaging the trees, ensuring sustainable production. This skill was often passed down through generations, embedding the incense trade deeply within the social and cultural fabric of southern Arabian communities. Over time, these communities developed extensive expertise in the management of these resources, refining methods of tapping the trees and processing the resins to maintain both quality and yield. The trade network, land and sea routes. The incense trade route was a marvel of logistical coordination, comprising both overland caravan trails and maritime pathways. The overland route stretched approximately 2,400 kilometers from the incense-producing regions in Dofa, modern Oman, and Hadramaut, modern Yemen, to the trading hubs of the Levant and Mediterranean. Camel caravans, capable of traversing the arid deserts, transported incense alongside other commodities like spices, textiles, and precious metals. Key waypoints along the route included Shabwa, Marib, and Petra. Shabwa, the capital of Hadramaut, served as a major center for processing and exporting incense. It was equipped with large storage facilities and marketplaces where merchants could negotiate deals. Marib, the ancient capital of the Sabaean kingdom, was renowned for its sophisticated irrigation systems and agricultural wealth, which supported the bustling trade activities. The Great Dam of Marib, a technological marvel of its era, transformed arid lands into fertile fields, ensuring a stable food supply for the traders and local population alike. Petra, the Nabatean capital in modern Jordan, functioned as a vibrant marketplace where Arabian, Greek, and Roman merchants exchanged goods and ideas. Its monumental architecture, carved into rose-red cliffs, symbolized the wealth and cultural blending that the trade fostered. The maritime routes complemented the land networks, utilizing the monsoon winds to facilitate efficient sea travel. Ships laden with incense set sail from the ports of Khor Rori and Ulbaid in Oman, crossing the Arabian Sea to reach India, or navigating the Red Sea to access Egypt and the Mediterranean. These sea voyages allowed for larger cargoes and quicker transit times, boosting the overall efficiency of the trade. Coastal ports became hubs of activity, with bustling harbors and diverse communities of sailors, merchants, and dock workers. These maritime routes helped spread Arabian culture across vast distances, fostering exchanges not just in goods but in ideas, technologies, and customs between the East and West. The role of Arabian kingdoms. Several ancient Arabian kingdoms flourished due to their control over the incense trade. The Sabaeans, Katabanians, Hadramites, and Minians were key players, each contributing to the stability and prosperity of the route. These kingdoms established intricate systems of governance, infrastructure, and taxation to manage the trade effectively. The Sabaean kingdom, centered in Marib, exemplified this prosperity. The Great Dam of Marib, an engineering marvel of its time, supported extensive agricultural production, ensuring the kingdom's wealth. Their control over key trade routes and their ability to impose taxes on passing caravans solidified their dominance. The Minians, based in Karnawu, modern Marin, acted as intermediaries, facilitating the movement of goods between the southern producers and northern consumers. They developed caravan stations with amenities for traders, including water supplies, lodging, and marketplaces. Their strategic position allowed them to profit from the movement of goods while maintaining their political and economic influence over the surrounding regions. The Hadramites, with their access to the Dofa region's incense reserves, maintained a near monopoly on production, cementing their economic dominance. They established elaborate systems of trade agreements and alliances to protect their interests, often employing armed escorts to secure caravans. The Katabanians contributed by crafting advanced road networks and logistical frameworks, ensuring the efficient flow of goods. Their expertise in infrastructure not only supported the incense trade but also allowed for the expansion of other commercial ventures, further enhancing the prosperity of the region. Cultural and economic impact. The trade in incense was not merely an economic enterprise, it was a cultural phenomenon. The resin's use in religious rituals bridged civilizations, as incense burned in the temples of Babylon, the synagogues of Judea, and the altars of Greece and Rome. The aromatic smoke symbolized a connection between the earthly and the divine, making frankincense and myrrh indispensable in spiritual practices. The economic benefits of the trade were immense. It funded the construction of grand cities, temples, and irrigation systems across Arabia. Cities like Marib, Petra, and Shabwa became centers of learning and cultural exchange, attracting scholars, artisans, and merchants. This interplay of ideas contributed to advancements in astronomy, mathematics, and engineering. The bustling marketplaces where incense was traded were also hubs for the exchange of intellectual and artistic innovations, with influences flowing from diverse cultures such as Greek, Persian, and Indian, all leaving their mark on Arabian society. The trade also stimulated the development of art and literature. Pottery, jewelry, and sculptures from this period often depict scenes of trade and religious ceremonies involving incense. These artifacts offer a glimpse into the societal values and aesthetic sensibilities of ancient Arabian cultures. The enduring beauty of these creations continues to inspire modern artists and historians, providing a tangible link to a vibrant, sophisticated world that existed long before the rise of more familiar empires. Decline and enduring legacy. The decline of the incense trade began around the 3rd century of the Common Era, driven by several factors. The rise of new trade routes, particularly the Silk Road, diverted attention and resources. The advent of Christianity and Islam, which de-emphasized the use of incense in religious practices, further reduced demand. Additionally, the collapse of key kingdoms and the increasing instability of overland routes made the trade less viable. Despite its decline, the legacy of the incense trade endures. Archaeological sites like Khor Rori, Ulbailed, and Shizr in Oman, as well as Marib and Shabwa in Yemen, offer glimpses into this storied past. These sites, recognized by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization as World Heritage Sites, serve as a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of the ancient Arabian peoples. Modern excavations continue to reveal artifacts, inscriptions, and architectural remains, enriching our understanding of this golden era. These discoveries continue to shed light on the lives of those who lived in this time, offering new insights into their daily practices, beliefs, and the immense scale of their trade networks. Human stories, the lives behind the trade. The incense trade was powered by countless individuals whose stories remain largely untold. From the harvesters who risked injury to extract resin from rugged tree trunks to the caravan leaders who braved the harsh desert terrain, their contributions were indispensable. The maritime traders, navigating treacherous seas, exemplified courage and skill, ensuring the safe delivery of their precious cargo. Women also played significant roles, particularly in the processing and marketing of incense. Inscriptions and artifacts suggest that women in ancient Arabia held positions of influence in trade and governance, challenging modern assumptions about gender roles in antiquity. Their involvement in managing local economies and participating in diplomatic negotiations highlights their integral role in the incense trade. Women's contributions were not limited to domestic spheres. They were also key players in the development of trade routes, economic agreements, and even military defense of caravans, helping to sustain the prosperity of their communities. Relevance today. The traditions of the incense trade are alive in the Arabian Peninsula. Frankincense and myrrh remain integral to cultural practices, from perfumery to religious ceremonies. The aromatic smoke wafting through Emirati homes and mosques is a direct link to this ancient heritage. Moreover, the story of the incense trade resonates with modern aspirations for regional connectivity and economic diversification. In recent years, there has been a renewed interest in the historical trade routes as symbols of cultural identity and heritage. Tourism initiatives, archaeological research, and cultural festivals celebrate the legacy of the incense trade, bringing its story to new generations. The incense trade route exemplifies how a resource unique to one region can shape the destinies of distant lands, fostering connections that transcend time and geography. It is a story of human ingenuity, resilience, and the enduring quest for prosperity and connection. The ongoing preservation of ancient trade routes serves as a reminder of the profound impact the trade had on shaping the cultural and economic landscape of the ancient world, and continues to inspire those who value the connections between past and present.